Good evening and welcome to Paisley Park for this round 4 NPL Victoria clash. It's Altona Magic versus Dandenong Thunder. My name is Josh Parrish and I'm delighted to be joined for his first game down here in Victoria, although he's a veteran in the Northern Territory, by George Skifezis. Welcome, George.
Pleasure to be here, Josh. It's certainly a very breezy afternoon in what is set to be a very tight contest between two sides that really enter this matchup on the exact same points, the same sort of form this season, but a couple interesting changes made by, you'd certainly like to think, the Dandenong Thunder, with their main man and goal scorer, Hassan Jallo, opted to drop to the bench for this occasion. And of course, while Altona's main man, Bilal Habib, is still starting. So, interesting lineup for both sides.
Absolutely, you've hit the nail on the head there, George, with the main storyline coming out of the team news. We'll start with Thunder's 11. The A-League veteran Jamie Young between the sticks. A back three of Sevdim Ismaili, Thijs van Amerongen and Mersin Mehmeti. Ali Suleimani and Jay Romanovsky are the wing-backs, with Aidan Edwards and Kyle Taylor in midfield. Yuki Uchida and Daniel Clark keep their places as the two attacking midfielders, supporting not Hassan Jallo, who has 3 goals in his first 3 games for the Thunder, but Wade Decker, who's been recalled to the starting lineup. Alongside Jallo on the bench, Benjamin McCauley, Ben Jeeba, Mitchell Rourke, and the returning Liram Elmazi and Rahul Suresh, the Sri Lankan international who was at Langwarren in VPL 1 last season and is an international teammate of Wade Decker. Go to the Altona team news. Just the one change from the side that was defeated 1-0 by the Preston Lions last week. Anthony Frangi dropped from the squad entirely. In comes Daniel Fabrizio. Christian Rossi captains the side between the sticks. A back four of Hiro Kawaguchi, Tafik Olamawewe, Johnny Stoichevsky and Alex Gust. Saad Mukashar and Philip Yachevsky in midfield, with Christos Theodorakopoulos ahead of that pair. Connor O'Keefe and Bilal Habib, the star man for Altona so far this season. 2 goals in his first 3 games for the club. He's going to play down the left. On the bench for Altona, Ilya Shalamanov-Trenkov, Dejan Bakadanakoski, Mohamed El Hawley, George Sitsinaris and Salu Kamara all keep their places from last week. In comes Gildas Gomwikezwa, the youngster from the Altona Magic ranks. Potentially a first-team opportunity for him today. These two sides have typically played out crackers in this competition. Since Altona were promoted to the top flight in 2019, this fixture averages 3.9 goals per game. I hope I haven't put the commentator's curse on it there, but that's the one thing you can expect this evening. The two sides, as you say, George, locked on the same points. A win for either team could propel them into the top 6. Second last game of round 4 here in Victoria, and we're just about ready to kick off. Today's match referee is Jack Morgan. Well, changes up top for both sides. No Frangi. Jallo on the bench as we get set to kick off here. Altona in the red and black, kicking from right to left. George, what are you expecting from this game? A couple of unknown quantities in the forward line, at least.
Certainly going to be an interesting contest. Both teams, like you said, vying for a win to stay in the race for the top 6. And I'm sure, like you said, hopefully commentator's curse is not put in this game and we see some goals from both sides.
It's Altona in possession to start this one. They had the advantage for all of 35 minutes against Preston Lions last week with a red card. They weren't able to find the back of the net, so Keith is immediately ruled offside here. Threatens probably more when it was 11v11. They were very dangerous on the counter-attack, but as soon as Preston set up shop with that 1-0 lead and a man sent off, Altona really had no avenue to goal, so I'm sure that's been a big focus for Goran Lozanovsky in training this week, trying to break down set defences. That's a nasty tackle from Theodorakopoulos, and perhaps he's saved by just how early in the match it's occurred. It's a big tumble taken by Yuki Uchida.
Certainly a strong challenge made early. Perhaps, as you said, Lozanovsky kind of just maybe telling his troops that they need to be a little bit more assertive, a little bit disappointed after, like you said, that narrow defeat to a 10-man Preston. But certainly you got to say, once Preston set up shop, and they have been impressive this season, Preston. But like you said, Matter Magic will want to make amends for last week's disappointment.
Of course, BT Connor Reserve, a very tough place to go for any team. Thunder, meanwhile, got their own point to prove. They coughed up what would have been 3 points in the 98th minute last week. Uchida just lost the control of the ball at the last possible moment. Concedes the goal kick, but they looked set to extend their winning streak in the Dandenong derby. Fixture they've dominated over the years. Dandy City still hasn't won one, but were undone by a late header from George Lambatarides. Every coach hates conceding goals from set pieces. I'm sure the feeling is compounded when it comes so deep into stoppage time. Ball runs out of play for a Thunder throw. They've maybe just edged the arm wrestle so far. Ali Suleimani to take, who's been such a cult hero for the Thunder since he joined in 2020. Uchida. Kawaguchi nervous under the high ball, but he makes up for it in spades. Gets the danger clear for now. Here's Kyle Taylor on the score sheet in the Dandy Derby last week. Romanovsky and Decker involved. Taylor trying to centre the ball, and it had run out of play. A rather awkward looping one for Mukashar, but thankfully he doesn't have to deal with it. You can see a subtle change of shape by the looks of things from the Thunder, with Clark dropping a little deeper into midfield and Wade Decker forming part of a front two with Uchida today. It's more of a 3-5-2 rather than the 3-4-3 that Adam Pittock's sides, both at Thunder and Port Melbourne, have traditionally preferred. Olamawewe up to win the header. Shout for handball. It's going to be an Altona throw regardless. Kawaguchi. Helped on. Now Decker off the chest. Decker going to ground. No whistle from Morgan. It's a delightful ball in the direction of Habib. And Ismaili does really well to deal with it. Suleimani. No choice but to pump it up the line, and Stoichevsky, with all his many years of experience, it's easy pickings for him. Theodorakopoulos again running afoul of the referee's whistle. He's got to be careful here. Picked up a lot of bookings this season, Altona. 11 through the first 3 rounds, which is by far and away the most of any side until this round started. Theodorakopoulos was one of those players, one of the many Altona players who've been booked so far this year. No red cards, however. Romanovsky. The 18-year-old shapes up to cross. It's a very good delivery, but just wouldn't sit for Wade Decker. That's off the arm of the defender Mehmeti there. Referee rules it unintentional. Kyle Taylor gives Ismaili something to chase, but he's got plenty of space and time in which to do so. Still waiting for the first clear-cut chance, George, but the Thunder are prompting and probing and getting into some good areas here.
Yeah, certainly cagey start again for both teams. There's a chance here coming away.
Stay with play here for a moment as Uchida gets down the line. He goes down. Was that inside the box? The referee says no. Just on the outside. And Alex Gust He's going to be the 12th Altona player to be yellow carded this year.
As you were saying, Josh, the Thunder certainly the earlier profiters with possession, and again segued perfectly into a free kick just outside the box, and they've got certainly plenty of tall timber coming forward and to influence this set piece, and potentially could get off the mark here.
Oh, they cut Altona open there, and they've won a free kick just tantalisingly poised outside of the penalty box. 5 to aim for Dandenong Thunder. Uchida perched just outside. It's in towards Decker, who can't set his feet for the header. And that was the most presentable chance of the game so far.
Be a little disappointed there, Decker. He found himself in some space, just perhaps a little off balance, and ruining that chance, the Sri Lankan forward.
Romanovsky. Decker. In towards Clark, off the chest for Uchida. Well, it was an acrobatic effort, but in the end, Johnny Stojcevski does enough to put him off. It's quite the chest control from Daniel Clark there.
Absolutely, and the acrobatics by Uchida to follow up was beautiful as well. Just couldn't quite get any meaningful contact on that ball.
Thunder looking slick, looking imposing so far. Theodorakopoulos, that's foul number 3. And Adam Pittick is out on the edge of his technical area, absolutely furious that Theodorakopoulos hasn't been booked yet. He is walking a very, very fine tightrope.
Absolutely.
You thought that was the one, George.
Well, almost like a baseball analogy, the third time and you're out, but third interesting tackle there, you could say, nevertheless, by Theodorakopoulos, and not shown the book yet, but you'd like to think perhaps one more and then the yellow will come.
Jack Morgan showing a bit of mercy Christoph's way. Fighting low. Stojcevski manages to clear the danger for now. Thunder corner. Mercer Mehmedi up from the back to take it with that cultured left foot of his. 141 appearances for the Thunder today. He's closing in on that 150 mark. Just 3 goals in that time. If we get one today from Mercer Mehmedi, it'll be a collector's item. Van Amerongen, the obvious target in the box, and that's where it goes, but doesn't reach the Dutchman. Whipped in again. Uchida at the back stick, can't keep the ball alive.
Certainly got to be happy in these early stages, Adam Pittick, just with his side's invention towards goal. The avenues are certainly creating themselves. They've just not been able to find that final touch in the back of the net, but certainly encouraging signs thus far for the Thunder.
Have this game being played on their terms, away from home, which has historically been a bit of an issue for Thunder. Of course, they are playing with the wind in this first half. And you can see the way that goal kick from Christian Rossi just held up in the breeze. Oh, and that clearance from Olamawewe the same. It's trickled over the line for a Thunder throw. Van Amerongen chooses to take it from a long way further back than it went out. Difficult ball from Jamie Young, and Ali Suleimani does really well to keep it alive. Flicked on by Decker. Kawaguchi in a bit of trouble here. Here comes Kyle Taylor. Decker. Romanovsky. Romanovsky's ball. Uchida up for the overhead kick, but he's collected the defender instead. Oh, and Yuki Uchida is going to be yellow carded for that.
Certainly seemed like there was no malice intended in that attempt by Uchida, just once again, second time in this early first half stage, showing us his acrobatics, just catching a bit of Zachevsky in the process, unfortunately. And referee decides it's enough for a yellow ticket.
Well, I, for one, wouldn't want to be discouraging players from doing bicycle kicks. I think that's a bit miserly from the referee. Maybe technically correct, but it seems against the spirit of fun. But, you know, we'll have to keep his acrobatics in check for the rest of this one. Altona with a rare foray forward, but can't find Bilal Habib down the left. Soleimani with the long launch. Uchida, Decker. And it's Clark and off Gust for another Thunder throw. It's been one-way traffic in this first half. Van Amerongen will go back to his goalkeeper, the 39-year-old veteran. 228 A-League appearances. He's in the top 40 all-time on the A-League appearances tally. Great to have some of his pedigree in the league. As Thunder break forward. Really well done by Stoichevsky to keep the ball away from Soleimani there. And now, Altona have some numbers. And it's Habib. And Dandenong Thunder have been ruthlessly exposed here. But Bilal Habib can't lob the keeper from long way out. It's just such a disappointing finish. Altona have barely had a sniff, but they were in and clear.
Perhaps that's what makes that opportunity a little bit more disappointing when your back's against the wall, against the runner play. A chance like that sometimes can just ignite your team into action. But unfortunately for Altona, they couldn't quite turn that into magic.
And now, with the aid of the wind, the goal kick ends up with Clark. Uchida. The Thunder attack breaks down. No free kick for Altona. Despite the desperate appeals of Mukasha, channels his frustrations into winning the ball back. Theodorakopoulos doesn't get enough angle on the switch of play to O'Keefe. If you're just joining us, the Thunder have absolutely dominated, but Altona should be a goal to the good. Bilal Habib had kept his composure. What do you think, George? Was the shot the right call there? He had O'Keefe in support.
He certainly had O'Keefe in support, but with the distance that Jamie Young was off his line, I think with the form that Habib has been in this season, you kind of don't knock that. Your forward who's in form feels confident enough to take those chances upon himself. Sure, it didn't pay off this time for the Magic, but it's great to have a striker like, or a winger, sorry, that is opting to have those chances.
Again, difficult to get the distance on those goal kicks, Rossi. Struggling with the wind. Effects of which are probably a bit exaggerated at the top of this broadcast scaffold, but certainly affecting the game. Paul Young might have turned it over again here. Thunder play out under pressure really, really confidently. Taylor. Touch from Soleimani goes skywards. Uchida. And now Daniel Clark. Clark, little deflection on the cross. Olamawewe can only clear it as far as Romanovsky, who wants it on his right boot. Forced to recycle possession through Aiden Edwards. And now Mehmeti's ball forwards. Decker. O'Keefe. Now Theodorakopoulos leaves the layoff short. Altona still under the pump. Here goes Taylor. Complete miscommunication with his two forwards. Well, that was another big chance for the Thunder. The Altona midfielders getting a bit of a spray from Lozanovsky. Wake up too slow was the message. Very succinct and very accurate. Oh, big head clash. Looks like both players have come off okay. Edwards and Theodorakopoulos springing back to their feet, which forces the referee to make a decision. Quickly taken free kick. Jack Morgan won't be allowing it to continue. Still pretty warm out there in the sun for these players. And Morongan. Taylor went down holding his face. And the subsequent infringement was Kiyovchevsky on Decker. Perhaps the referee was just... Yeah, it looks like it's the second foul that's been paid. Theodorakopoulos getting a stern word of warning from the referee here. Not retreating quickly enough. He's been to the principal's office a few times already this evening.
Yeah, certainly, and after committing a couple of nasty challenges early, it potentially could take something like that, getting off a free kick a little too late. That might put him in the book.
Managed to avoid the pocketbook so far. Launched forward by Mukasha. O'Keefe battling for it. Mehmeti. Kawaguchi. Anywhere will do. Preferably as far upfield as he can manage. Romanovsky. Taylor bringing the free kick off Yovchevsky, and a few fairly abrasive words exchanged between the two. Decker hangs it high. Daniel Clark's at the back post, and he can only loft it gently and generously into the awaiting arms of Christian Rossi. Just had no angle at all on that. Keith goes down. Theodorakopoulos dribbles into traffic and runs out of room. It's interesting that the Thunder are so prepared to go 1v1 with Altona's front three and set those left and right centre-backs wide. It's a bold approach. One carries in the wind to Rossi. Clark and Suleimani hassling and harrying the Altona ball carriers. Gust. Great ball up the line from Gust. And Bilal Habib is onside here. Checking inside Ismaili. Laying it off for Theodorakopoulos. And then the follow-up is in from Fabrizio, but the flag is up. Altona absolutely incredulous. Adam Pittick absolutely furious with his side's defending.
Tell you what, Josh, if that's not a warning sign, certainly for the Thunder, Adam Pittick's side, I don't know what is. They've, I guess, haven't been in the game for the most of it, the Magic, but you could argue, you say, besides that offside goal, they also have had another great chance that Habib should have converted.
Maybe they've had the clearest openings despite having very little of the general play. O'Keefe's ball in is well dealt with. Thunder backline looking a little fragile at the moment. Habib has 2 for company. Drags it wide. Checks back for Gus to cross first time, and Kawaguchi will knock it down to Fabrizio. No way through past Van Amerongen. But Decker left it short, and Jovchevski finds Kawaguchi. Back to Filip Jovchevski. Mukashar has his pocket picked by Uchida. And Daniel Clark straining every sinew to get there. Jinking past his man, and Stoichevski's going to go into the book here as well. You could argue it was a tackle he had to make.
Brilliant effort there from Daniel Clark, just to get as much out of his body as he could. Tried to get past as many Magic players as he could in that solo enterprising run, and it took a strong challenge by Stoichevski to bring him down, earn himself a yellow card. Bit of attention for Daniel Clark, and a set piece for Dandenong Thunder to try and capitalise here.
Well, the Magic spray's out for Clark. I think it's just a contact wound, and he'll be fine to continue. 34 years young, the NPL Victoria veteran, showing all of his experience and class there. Doesn't have the burst of pace he may be used to. He was never the quickest player in truth, but he's a wily dribbler who can just bait defenders into diving in like Stoichevski did there. Great set piece opportunity for the Thunder. The wind will carry it goalwards. The right boot of Taylor or the left boot of Mehmeti. The big Dutchman's up from the back. Van Amerongen. Clark, an obvious aerial target as well. It's going to be Taylor's delivery. And well defended by Altona. Out as far as Romanovsky and charge down, and now the break could be on. Fabrizio taken down cynically. Well, the Thunder bench don't think much of that. But Kyle Taylor has a yellow card, and the paperwork for Jack Morgan is ramping up very quickly.
Certainly is cleverly done there by Daniel Fabrizio as well. As running through, thought and he knew the contact was going to come from Taylor. Some may say an expert performance in getting Taylor booked there, but certainly the experience to go down and earn a free kick for his side.
Well, there was certainly contact. O'Keefe, lovely spin. The back of Mehmeti there. Mukashar. Kawaguchi's first time ball. Isn't going to win any awards. Clark. Taylor. Decker. Brilliant find to pick out Suleimani on the far side. Now it's Thunder flying forward. Suleimani jinking past Theodorakopoulos. Has Alex Gust for company and thinks better of it. Thunder will just reset through the back three and switch the point of attack. Uchida out-muscled by the bigger body and Tafik Olamuwewe, who does well to win the throw. Well, if Thunder don't capitalise on this win, they might find the second half tough going.
Certainly, if the wind keeps up its first half form, certainly acting as an extra player out there with the ferocity and the gusts.
Romanovsky couldn't get there. Kawaguchi stealing a couple of bases up the line there. And he wins some territory. Just in front of the home bench. Theodorakopoulos laid off for Mukashar. Kawaguchi. Now O'Keefe running out of room on the near side here. Away by Romanovsky for an Altona throw. Mukasha. Saad Mukasha finding the on-rushing Alex Gust. Can't help it on to Habib. Smaley. Oh, Decker. That one's gone haywire. Now Habib. Soleimani puts it into touch, and his appeals for a throw go unheeded. Gust. Ball had made its way out of play. Habib. Fabrizio dropping deep off the front line to get involved. Rather disappointing petering out of that prolonged attack from Altona. Thunder are set up for the short goal kick. Jamie Young's going to go wide to Romanovsky. Mehmeti. Olamawewe knocks it up the line. Clark will control off the chest and will shove in the back as well, which is easily picked up by the officials. Rossi. Oh, going to take on Uchida bravely there. Does well, the Altona captain. Well, a protracted discussion here between centre back and right back. Olamawewe just didn't feel like he had the passing options he wanted there. Kawaguchi gets good distance on the throw against the winds. Mehmeti in strongly. Charged down by Theodorakopoulos. Lofts it straight to the Dutchman at the heart of the Thunder backline. Septim Ismaili now. Decker seems to have swapped spots with Daniel Clark. Gone deep into midfield, Wade Decker. Break for Altona here. Mukasha, Jovchevski. Industrious work from the pair. Mukasha wants it in the middle. Kawaguchi's held it for a long time. And O'Keefe will wrestle for it, but lose out to Romanovsky. Oh, given away by Edwards. O'Keefe lifts it over. And the assistant's flagging on the near side. Mercer Mehmeti collects the Scotsman. And will escape with a talking to, I think.
Yeah, good passage of play there, got to say, from the Magic. Fashioning one forward down the sign of Kawaguchi, and O'Keefe cleverly winning the free kick here. Sure, an opportunity against the wind. See the delivery of Theodorakopoulos. Going to trouble the goal of Jamie Young.
He does strike a dead ball very cleanly. Christos. Right into the near post, not one of his best. Get another look from this corner. Christos Theodorakopoulos has the unwanted record of the last 3 clubs he's played for. Have all been relegated from NPL Victoria. Be hoping to arrest that slide this season. Theodorakopoulos in again. And that one's just over hits. And is in fact curled out of play. Good spot from the lino on the near side. Well, if you'd watched the first 15 minutes or so, you'd be forgiven for thinking this was going to be a Dandenong Thunder procession, but it's proved anything but. Fabrizio in a wrestling match with Van Amerongen. Kawaguchi hits the deck. Wade Decker won it cleanly. Clark, the layoff is short. And now here comes Fabrizio. Opportunity to spot a teammate in the middle, but his cross can't beat the first man. Olomuwewe. Gust. Habib. No way past Suleimani. Hacks it forward, but can't connect with the forward line. Altona have really grown into this one. O'Keefe. O'Keefe with a vicious cross, and Theodorakopoulos can't propel it goalwards. That one was travelling, had real shape on it.
Yeah, certainly as this game's petered past the half an hour mark here, certainly the Magic have come more of their own, and if they can keep the scores deadlocked and even force it to the second half at the same scoreline, you've got to imagine that they can potentially do something in the second half.
Oh, Uchida wrong foots his teammate. Habib goes down. Late contact from Suleimani. Head in hands. Can't believe it. Alex Suleimani's a lot more comfortable at George Andrews Reserve than he is on the road. Looking into his goal scoring record today, and turns out that of the 15 goals he's netted for the Thunder across, well, past 4 years, save for one spent at South Melbourne, only 2 of his 15 goals have come away from home. Habib giving away the free kick this time around. Clark can't meet it. Stoichevsky got a touch. Gust charged down by the Thunder attack. Here goes Suleimani. Looking for Wade Decker. It's a looping header and just trickles wide of the top corner. Christian Rossi copped a bit of contact for his trouble off Uchida. But make no mistake, Wade Decker was going for goal, and he was mighty close to the opener.
Beautifully executed there. An attack by the Thunder. As you said, Ali Suleimani with a beautiful curling ball into the box, and waiting below it was Wade Decker. Looping header, almost certainly below that crossbar, and would have beaten Christian Rossi, but
that's a brutal hit from Uchida on the goalkeeper. Very, very much unintentional, but Just watching that back, it was a high-speed collision. Uchida was busting a gut to get in the 6-yard box, and Christian Rossi coming out trying to collect the cross. You just thought it might loop into the top corner there from Decker, but it hasn't been his day, and he's yet to find his goal-scoring boots this season. Of course, Hassan Jallo, I should say, has been the star man for the Thunder, but on the bench today. Whether that's due to an injury concern, we're none the wiser, but you'd have to imagine he hasn't been dropped on form.
Absolutely not. It's one of those things as well, as Adam Piddick looks towards the second half, to have a weapon like that on the bench to be able to look to change the dynamic of the game would be ever so pleasant for him and his side. So
at least he's got the break glass in case of emergency option.
You're not wrong there. Certainly, based on form, Hassan Jallo will be that reprieve if that's so required.
It's Hassan Jallo's second stint in Victoria. His first came right here at Altona Magic. Oh, here goes O'Keefe, outpacing Van Amerongen and looking for the bottom corner. But again, Altona can't finish off the big chances in this game. Thunder carved open with one pass. Goodness me, Connor O'Keefe, what a chance to score his first goal in Victorian football.
Great opportunity, and the Magic bench certainly a little bit upset with that one, a little frustrated in the finish. It looked like the action was the right one, it's just the execution wasn't the one that Connor O'Keefe would have wanted that time.
It's clean through on goal. That's the second 1v1 chance they've blown today, Altona. Here goes Edwards. Both players ending up on the deck. Romanovsky. Oh, and then that's certainly a foul. Edwards is going to go into the book. Yet another yellow card produced in this first half. It's been a pretty spiteful affair at times.
Just looking at that one back, it looked a little frivolous there. Certainly owing of a yellow card, you'd like to think, based on the action.
Yeah, he's gone in really late. It's a nasty tackle.
So although there's been a lack of goal scoring, there's been no lack of cautions shown in this first half. 5 in total, 3 to the Thunder and 2 to the Magic.
Glad you're keeping count, George. I lost count.
We'd like to see some goals, Josh, that's for sure.
Well, it hasn't been short on goal mouth action. Bilal Habib and Connor O'Keefe have both blown clear-cut opportunities. The Thunder have had no shortage of chances themselves. It is, frankly, a minor miracle that this game is still scoreless. That could be about to change. Uchida. Oh, brought down by Gust. And now a big decision to make for the referee, because Alex Gust has already been booked. And he's off. Well, Alex Gust is appealing, saying that Yuki Uchida should have been ruled offside there, and thus his second caution annulled. Was a close run thing. Don't think our camera angle will reveal anything in that regard. And Uchida not in frame, so
definitively we can't make a call on that one,
yeah,
from the gantry, but
maybe the VO footage will prove Alex Gust right after the fact, but it's not going to matter. He's going down the tunnel for an early shower. We were talking about Altona's disciplinary issues. 11 yellow cards coming into this game. And now their first red card of the year. The Thunder have hardly been angels themselves this evening, but they've got the 11v10 advantage going into the second half. And just maybe Kyle Taylor might enforce double jeopardy here and really make the Magic pay. Mehmeti standing over it as well. It's going to be Kyle Taylor off Mukashar, who wasn't even in the wall. So Chevsky. Mehmeti back to his goalkeeper, Jamie Young. Well, an engaging and fairly ill-tempered affair so far. Still scoreless here at Paisley Park. Altona down to 10. Taylor. Altona are going to prepare a change here. Bilal Habib so far is filling in at left back, but he's hardly a natural defender, so Mohammed El Hawley will be summoned. Suleimani. Edwards. Back to Suleimani. And then fed through to Wade Decker. Breaks down through Taylor. It was a brilliant move up until then. Clark's won it back off Stojcevski though. Olamawewe puts it behind for a corner.
And that substitution you were talking about, it's going to be Christos Theodorakopoulos, whose afternoon comes to an end.
And after all that, he didn't get a yellow card.
No.
One of the few.
Essentially simmering to that point where he potentially might have gone into the book. A couple of challenges, and of course now going down to 10 men, the Altona Magic. They have to make a formation change perhaps, but one of those subs that often happens after a red card.
Yeah, I think Theodorakopoulos is the most advanced of the midfield three. Is the unfortunate tactical casualty of Alex Gust's indiscretion. Back to a 4-4-1 you'd expect, with Fabrizio on his own up top. And struck goalwards, but well high of the mark from Jay Romanovsky.
I think that effort unfortunately cleared Paisley Park into the golf course, but the new ball's not far away, and it seems as though El Hawley's come out to right back.
Wonder whether Romanovsky made it onto the green or maybe caught in a sand trap.
And then also looks like Kawaguchi's come across to fill in for Gust.
So Kawaguchi left back, El Hawley right back, little reshuffle. And Habib is able to return to his familiar role on the left flank. So I suspect he'll have to be more defensively disciplined to make up for the man disadvantage. Again, these swirling winds wreaking havoc with this game. Edwards, it's over the top. Clark can't find a teammate. Ismaili heads back into the middle of the pitch. 3 minutes up on the fourth official's board to end this first half. Habib, past 3 and the nutmeg. And the referee will play advantage here as El Hawley makes his first contribution to teasing ball. Mukashar. And it won't sit for them. Habib still down in a heap. They may have to put the ball out here. They're down to 9 at the moment, Altona. No, they haven't. Olamawewe looking for El Hawley. And now we will finally get a stoppage, and Bilal Habib will get some treatment. It was a brilliant solo effort. Slaloming past 2 defenders before nutmegging a third, and he was collected.
Certainly late drama here at Paisley Park, and opportunity once again for the Magic, but more concerningly, Bilal Habib still down, going to require some treatment. And down to 10 men. There's certainly no strangers to the change-up of a field. Unfortunately for them, it was a loss last week against a 10-man Preston. So they had the advantage last week and couldn't do anything. Perhaps backs against the wall kind of stuff might open up the game a little bit more.
Maybe the reverse could be true. A thumbs up from the physio. Looks like Habib will be all right to continue, and he's certainly added another highlight to his YouTube reel.
I mean,
very fancy stuff.
Lozanovsky wouldn't have wanted that headache to be added to his halftime team talk. So thankfully for him, it looks like Habib will come back on just after a brief stint on the sidelines.
Altona temporarily down to 9 for the time being. Fabrizio looking for a free kick. Nothing doing. And Habib is back on the park. They're at least up to 10 now. Just joining us. Well, Habib, Connor O'Keefe, both with 1v1 opportunities against Jamie Young, but neither could find the target. Otherwise, it's been Dandenong Thunder controlling most of this game and forcing a red card for Alex Gust. His second booking. Both of them were for bringing down Yuki Uchida in attacking positions, I believe. Taylor. Whipped in by Romanovsky. It's come off El Hawley's hand, but it was in a natural position. And Taylor will see it out for a throw. A luxury to have a player who's most recently played in League One in Kyle Taylor. Real pedigree. Ismaili. Oh, numbers in the box there. They've just bisected two of his teammates. That was a shot from the defender.
Perhaps, and it is one of the last motions of the first half.
Well, Jack Morgan brings a very eventful first 45 minutes to a close. We didn't have a goal, we had pretty much everything else. A red card for Alex Gust for 2 bookable offences will condition the rest of this game, but Altona will be ruining their missed chances. Both of them coming fairly against the run of play. But Bilal Habib, with Jamie Young way off his line, lobbed the keeper, but also cleared the crossbar, and then Connor O'Keefe running clean through on goal, couldn't slot the ball into the bottom corner as he'd hoped. Well, it's advantage Thunder going into this second 45, although Altona do have the wind in their favour in the second half. The best is yet to come in this one. You get that feeling. Josh Parrish alongside George Kefezis. George, closing words on the first half?
Yeah, it was a very cagey first half start, certainly by both teams. A lot of cautions shown by referee Jack Morgan, and chances, as you said, for Altona Magic, but also coming through Decker and the acrobatics of Yuki Uchida. So, as you said, a lot more to come in the second half.
We'll take a short break here on the NPL Victoria YouTube channel. The halftime score at Paisley Park is Altona Magic 0, Dandenong Thunder 0.
Yes, my friend.
Hello. See.
They like rock back and forth, yeah. Around it with that.
Welcome back to Paisley Park as we get the second half underway. Altona Magic 0, Dandenong Thunder 0 at the break. Alex Gust receiving his marching orders for his second bookable offence. Twice bringing down Yuki Uchida, who's been a thorn in the side of the Altona backline. Magic, against the run of play, have had two brilliant chances to open the scoring through Bilal Habib and Connor O'Keefe, but failed to make the most of them. And thus we go in scoreless with Thunder having the numerical advantage, but Altona kicking with the wind in this second half. Josh Parrish alongside George Skafezis for this one. George, how have you enjoyed your first call here in Victoria, and what have you made of this game so far?
It's certainly been an interesting first call for sure. The tempo of the game and certainly the physicality has been a much difference to see, and the chances by both teams have been quite entertaining as well. Like you said, Yuki Uchida with his acrobatics, and Altona Magic almost catching the Thunder asleep a couple of times via the attacks of Bilal Habib, but certainly an entertaining first game, and I'm sure the second half will have a lot more to the tale.
This fixture rarely goes without goals, averaging 3.9 since Altona were promoted to the top division in 2019. The head-to-head record sits with Altona all time. 8 wins for Thunder, 3 draws and 11 wins for the Magic. And Thunder have a very poor recent record against the Magic. They've lost 5 of their last 6. Of course, under new management as of last season, Adam Piddick taking charge, and a huge turnover of players, a completely different system. So that historical record, aside from the last 2 games they've played against each other, very little import.
If there's any inspiration, they did come, as you said, in the last 2 games here at Paisley Park almost a year to the day, and they mustered a 3-2 victory over the Magic. So hopefully that can inspire the Thunder in the second half.
It was a thriller early in the season. Hopefully we get some fireworks in this second half one way or another. As the freight trains run in the background. Ali Suleimani venturing forward. Can't find the feet of Uchida. Stoichevsky will hoik it upfield. Van Amerongen cleaning up at the back for the Thunder. Ismaili knocks it high and infield, working against the wind. Fabrizio. And Van Amerongen with a beautifully timed sliding challenge. That leaves Bilal Habib in a heap. Incredible story about Van Amerongen. Turned out last year for Swinburne FC in Metro League 2. just one game for them, but he's been promoted 9 tiers this season.
Some success story nonetheless.
We'll have to investigate further as to how on earth he ended up in that club after playing in the Dutch 4th Division. Yeah, just the one appearance in Metro League 2. It's not uncommon for visa players who come partway through the year to end up in the state leagues somewhere where the registration windows don't apply, but the Metro Leagues, that's a new one. I've never seen a player who's played Metro League, which is, you know, for viewers who aren't familiar with the Victorian league structure, you know, casual park football. Never seen a player come from Metro League to play NPL. Van Amerongen might be a trailblazer in that regard, but certainly has a much richer CV from his time back home in the Netherlands. Way. Knocks it into space and doesn't quite have the turn of pace to get there. Goal kick.
Perhaps you could say took a class or two to study on how to play in the NPL.
Very possibly. Not sure if he's come to Australia for work or study reasons or to play football, but he's graduated from the Metro Leagues and he's looking pretty tidy at the back for Thunder so far this season. Finding Uchida. It's a great pass from Van Amerongen. And Uchida brought down from behind. No whistle from Morgan. Contact insignificant from Habib. At least ruled as such. Maybe Suleimani to take a quick throw, looking for Clark. Ali Suleimani again. Edwards to the byline. The cut back doesn't beat Kawaguchi. Thunder with lots of white shirts forward here. Mehmeti out to Romanovsky. The teenager swings in an inviting cross, which just bends away from danger. Again, got to compensate for those almost gale force wins here at Paisley Park. Taylor. Van Amerongen. On to Mehmeti. Confident build up from the Thunder. Can they make it count in the final third here? Decker. Flag up against Wade Decker. You suspect that's going to be the pattern for much of this second half. The onus is on Thunder to create something, and Altona, well, their best chances have come in transition, so even with 10 men, there's no reason why they can't get in behind.
I was just about to say that the second half story is writing itself a lot like the first half, and perhaps emphasised a little bit more with that man advantage, certainly for the Thunder, but certainly don't see the magic just out of this game just yet with the counter-attacking prowess they possess so far.
Especially with those quick wingers getting in behind. Mukashar fouled. The South Australian.
It's opportunities like these you want to capitalise off as the ball comes out wide to Kawaguchi, looking to get forward. Bilal out wide, and good tackle made there by Suleimani. Receives it now, goes backwards to his goalkeeper. Jamie Young scurrying across and gets to possession, and now the Thunder can look to build from deep here. It's an adventuring play down the left-hand side, looking to find Romanovsky, but can be dealt with that quite easily. The substitute there, El Hawley, and out of play for a Altona goal kick.
Mohamed El Hawley, the 20-year-old, has come through the junior ranks here at Altona. Actually scored against the Thunder last season here at Paisley Park. He doesn't score too many, El Hawley, so I'm sure he looks back on that one fondly, see if he can replicate the feat. Tough for a right back in a team with 10 men, but you never know. O'Keefe. Lukashar can't find O'Keefe. Here goes Decker. Forced backwards to Van Amerongen, all the way back to Young. It's almost an attack v defence training drill at the moment. Thunder pick their way through with the extra man. Altona so far very, very disciplined in this second half. Set up quite narrow and forcing Thunder to just funnel the ball into their wing backs. See Decker wants it between the lines, so does Clark. To go on the outside to Suleimani, no way past Kawaguchi. And O'Keefe tracking all the way back. Kawaguchi up to Fabrizio. Wooden stick. That's a beautiful ball. Finding Suleimani in a bit of space. He's got runners in the middle. Wade Decker! It has to be, and it is! Dandenong Thunder take the lead on the road. And Wade Decker has his first goal of the 2025 season.
And as predicted, a wonderful bit of play there from the Thunder. All coming from their tried and trusted captain in Ali Suleimani. Going down that right-hand side, putting an expertly poised ball into the box. And, well, perhaps now Adam Piddick looking like a bit of a genius in his formation change. And Wade Decker, Sri Lankan international, scoring and putting the Thunder in front. So a goal in front and that man advantage as well. How can the Magic respond?
78 NPL Victoria goals now for Wade Decker. He's been such a prolific operator over many years with the Oakley Cannons and Green Gully. There's that stint in the A-League with Melbourne City as well. No whistle for Fabrizio there. As you say, George, just moving into maybe that slightly more withdrawn role after he started the game very much as the 9. He's Johnny on the spot, the penalty spot as it were. In the right place at the right time, arriving late into the box. I would say it was Mercer Mehmedi who, albeit left with an acre of space and time on the ball, absolutely arrowed that switch perfectly into the path of Suleimani in the build-up and completely tore the Altona Magic backline open. Great distribution from the left-sided centre half.
Giving the ball away cheaply there, Lukashar. Certainly not the kind of play you want from the Magic, especially with their man down as Suleimani take the throw, looking for his teammate there and finding Clark, and ball peters out on the far side where Hawley can take possession for the Magic. Central there for Josefsky. Stojevski out wide. Here is Kawaguchi. Lukashar, can he spin away? Pressure applied by Edwards, but he finds a pass. Heavy touch there, can be surrendered, but they maintain possession here with Fabrizio. The Magic looking to turn something into attack, but the Dutchman puts it out for a Magic throw-in.
Ismaili's just copped a stray arm off Daniel Fabrizio there. And left holding maybe a bloodied lip, so keep an eye on that. Meanwhile, a bit of a spell of possession for Altona, the 10 men having to answer back. It's an unenviable position for Goran Lozanovsky's side. A goal down BT Connor last week with a man advantage. Now they're a goal down with a man sent off. Their bib has to be offside here, and the flag does go up.
It's just vital the way that the Magic play now Certainly no shying away from the game despite the man disadvantage, but it's important where you set up on the, again, counter-attack. Once they lose the ball with a man advantage, the Thunder obviously with the more men on the park will look to break early, and they don't want to overcommit and fall perhaps 2 or 3 behind, as looks like the Magic are soon preparing a substitution.
They could be long for changes in this one. Of course, we've already had one sub, Theodorakopoulos off, El Hawley on, just to make up a stable back 4 again for Altona. Such a shame for Alex Gust, who started the season really strongly. Altona's left back, but today not his day. Van Amerongen. Short to Edwards. They just work the extra man wide with Romanovsky. Taylor. Elegantly done from Kyle Taylor. Wade Decker has his sights set on the top corner, but it was always drifting high and wide. And it's going to be Salu Kamara to come on at the next change. And Jovchevsky withdrawn, so a very attacking substitution. Kamara, usually a winger or a forward by trade. Imagine there'll be some sort of midfield reshuffle. Lozanovsky with a word in the ear of Bilal Habib. Habib. They touch past Ismaili, who recovers well.
Perhaps slotting into a more attacking midfield role. Certainly a little bit up for debate at the moment. Just playing outside of the 18-yard box while they have an attacking throw-in. The Magic. And Kawaguchi to deliver. Kamara offering short. A bit further on as Mukashar as well goes to Habib, takes a header down, put to ground fairly easily off the straight arm of Kamara, but play continues. Decker comes out wide here. Suleimani, an assist already to his name, who's back in for his teammate in Aiden Edwards. Suleimani back into the middle. Kyle Taylor getting onto that ball and putting his head up, looking out wide perhaps. Certainly goes over to Mehmeti. Amerongen. Ismaili looking for a piercing ball. Wade Decker. Back to Ismaili, and now Edwards to recycle the ball. They will. Taylor. Almost caught by Mukashar, but play continues there. Nice disguised ball for Uchida. Olamawewe is with him. Uchida. Strike and saved by Rossi.
Had to be the high ball, didn't it, with Clark waiting at the back stick. Easy for us to say from up here, of course. Daniel Clark was free as a bird at the back post. Yeah, it looks like Kamara is going to play in the engine room. Maybe more versatile operator, we realise, but this is first season down here in Victoria. He's played with Metro Stars and Raiders in South Australia, Sydney United, and formerly of the Central Coast Mariners Academy in NPL New South Wales, Salu Kamara. Almost given away. Adam Pinnock furious with his charges. That would have been self-inflicted. Here goes Romanovsky. Early ball in from Mehmeti. He finds Wade Decker, who's through on goal, and Kawaguchi does enough. Well done by the Japanese defender. Wade Decker looked all but certain to hit the back of the net there. And a last-ditch effort from the number 2 sends it behind for a corner instead.
Gilt-edged chance there for Wade Decker. He's had the goal to his name, but could have easily had a hat-trick with the chances he's had in this game, but corner kick, and Kyle Taylor proved to be the answer from this particular set piece for the Thunder. Wasn't short. Manovsky puts the ball inside. Uchida rises, but rising taller, the captain for the Magic, Rossi.
Well, again, it was Merson Mehmeti with the pass. He's already created one goal, not a direct assist, but finding Suleimani a lead up to Decker's opener. Even more direct route to goal this time around, but Decker couldn't quite apply the finishing touch. Kamara, a rather hopeful ball forward. It's easily dealt with. Mehmeti to Amarongan. Ismaili goes all the way back to Young. Jamie Young tests his range. Ball holds it up in the breeze for Uchida. El Hawley gets a foot in. Mukashar, cleverly done, but Taylor's there on the other side. Slow it down, calm down is the message from Kyle Taylor. Just try and manage this game. They've got it in their grasp here, the Thunder. But you just feel at any moment a misplaced pass, a turnover, they could be in trouble. Altona, meanwhile, holding on for dear life here. Edwards. More changes being prepared. Fourth official adjusting the substitutions board. Suleimani can't find Decker. Kamara in an awkward spot here. Manages to clear his lines.
They'll want to try carefully manage this game. The Thunder as it goes on, as they take the throw early on there. Edwards trying to put a ball into the box. Goes to ground, but play continues. Uchida. Kamara now for the Magic, looking to come out. O'Keefe back to Kawaguchi. Mukashar. Soshevsky coming across to his captain, Christian Rossi. Now Mohamed El Hawley. Nice ball in the center. Finds Mukashar. Ball looking for Fabrizio, but cut out by Van Amarongan.
Oh, it's tough when you've only really got one option ahead of you. The ball has to be perfect, and it wasn't. No fun as the lone striker when your team's down to 10. Fabrizio's barely had a sniff of possession for a good few minutes here. Now they find Decker as the free man in midfield. Looking for Suleimani. Kawaguchi puts it into touch. A triple change for Altona in the works. Decker will win a corner. Back at Danikowski. One of those set to be introduced. So two Sitsinaris and Gomwikezwa.
An interesting proposition here, certainly, for the Magic. If they were to concede a second from this set piece, perhaps those changes might be altered, as it goes in looking for Clark. Back out, ball comes in and easily dealt with there by Rossi.
He's going for the quick release here, but nowhere near Bilal Habib.
They certainly have that gale force wind advantage. Perhaps that's what Rossi was looking to exploit.
And we are going to see Hassan Jallo as the next Thunder change. So left on the bench after 3 goals in his first 3 appearances for his new club. Seems a little hard done by. I'm not sure if there's a injury management reason for that, but he will get on the park. And I'm sure the neutrals will be keen to see what he can do. Habib. Lovely reverse for Kamara. No way past Ismaili, and the whistle will go. Maybe there was an advantage brewing for the Thunder there. Certainly what Adam Piddick thought. Nevertheless, gives us the opportunity to see those changes come through. John Stoichevsky's going to go to the bench. Bakadanikowski into the back line. Daniel Fabrizio withdrawn as well for Gildas Gomwikezwa. And Connor O'Keefe comes on to be replaced by George Sitsinaris. Meanwhile, for the Thunder, Wade Decker, the goal scorer, has run his race for the evening. On comes Hassan Jallo, the man in red-hot goal-scoring form at the top of the charts here in Victoria. Gets the last 20 minutes to impress here. It's Jamie Young playing with fire there. Thunder play out brilliantly. Uchida finding Jallo, his first touch off the bench. And he's full of energy. Uchida keeps it in stride. To the byline, Uchida fires it in low. The Thunder were almost in for two. Ali Suleimani just couldn't get on the end of that one. It was too close to the goalkeeper. Edwards foul.
Certainly would have been the perfect introduction to the game for Hassan Jallo.
Coming on to play against his former side. It's been a while since we've seen him in Victoria, Jallo. 2 goals in 11 appearances for the Magic in 2019 after coming in as a mid-season signing. Spent the last few years playing over in Iceland, with some intervening years in New South Wales with Apia and Blacktown. We're glad to have him back. Judging by his output in the first few rounds, he's grown as a player since then. 26 years of age and coming into his prime. Suleimani overcooks it.
So going into this match, a very similar, identical start to the season for both teams, each with a win, drawn, a loss. In comparison to the 2024 season, with Altona finishing 8th and Dandenong finishing 10th, both in touching distance of one another, 33 points and 28. Goes to show that perhaps tonight was always going to be a very close encounter, as the last couple of seasons competition tables prove, and it's certainly been like that on the pitch so far.
Altona looking to answer back with their fresh legs on the park. Problem for Thunder last season is they just didn't score enough goals, only 29. They were the lowest scorers in the league. Managed to get results where it counted and kept themselves comfortably clear of any relegation danger, but they just weren't prolific enough. They've added some attacking weapons in the off-season and already looking much more dangerous going forward. Meanwhile, Edwards giving away the free kick. Salu Kamara, the man, fouls. Bakadanikowski asking the question, can I get into the box? Yes, you can, is the answer. May as well roll the dice here.
Certainly adds presence there going forward. Dejan Bakadanikowski can Lukashar find an intended target. It goes towards that direction, but always just a little too high for the centre half, and it peters out for a goal kick, and one that the Thunder, Jamie Young, will want to protect.
It's interesting, Thunder now, they're holding all the cards, but do you press on for a second goal, or do you hold what you have?
I think more of the same has to be said for Adam Piddock. He's going to want to take 3 points home from Paisley Park, and don't ruin a winning rhythm. No need to shut up shop so far, even though you've got the man advantage.
Certainly look like they're going for a second. Clark. Well, one off the chest. Taylor, teasing ball in behind. Olamawewe does enough against Hassan Jallo. Kawaguchi goes for the quick switch, looking for Sitsinaris. El Hawley. Squares to Mukashar. Almost found Gombo between the lines. Cuts an imposing figure, the number 9. See if they can get him some aerial service.
Mukashar with possession, looking to go to that direction. And Mkezwa does well to keep the ball in his team's possession. Olumwewe. And Ofsky goes back to Rossi. Looking to go through the middle. Mukashar. Back out to Danikovsky. Looking longer forward for Siniaris perhaps. Quez there as well. Just no reinforcements. Eventually El Hawley arrives to come in. Kamara on the edge. What can he find out wide? His teammate there, Hiro Kawaguchi. Now Bilal Habib. Cross to Mukashar. Good possession play. Cuts off there by Daniel Clark, and now the Thunder almost looking to come out of defense. Kawaguchi there. Suleimani holding up Kawaguchi. A nice battle, and one that the referee says won by the Thunder.
Yeah. Kawaguchi just with a hold on Suleimani's shirt there. Well, Daniel Clark, having done so well to pick off the pass and intercept what was a really nicely weighted through ball from Saad Mukashar, has just coughed it up so cheaply. Terrible giveaway from the veteran. Very uncharacteristic. Man, Amarongan having to dribble his way out of trouble. Ismaili finding Uchida, and now the Thunder have attacking options in support here with Suleimani. Still going Suleimani, looking for Jallo. Hassan Jallo rides the challenge of Bakadanakoski and goes to ground. The ball has rolled over the touchline for a goal kick.
Certainly lively early, Hassan Jallo, after coming off the bench, just perhaps losing balance at the end there as that ball went out of play. But the Magic now a chance. Kawaguchi with a space out here for Bilal Habib. Habib cutting inside away from Suleimani. He's asking for something there.
Habib saying the ball hit Suleimani's hand on the ground, but if it's the hand supporting you between yourself and the ground, it's not going to be a free kick. This time it is for Habib, and Uchida falls to his knees in disbelief.
It worked out in the end for the Magic, and Habib gets a free kick eventually just inside of his own half, and Danikovsky comes across to Olumwewe, looking to launch and attack the Magic. El Hawley trying to come across to this one, keep it inside, does well initially, but unfortunately that heavy touch just puts it out into touch for a goal kick.
Changes being ready for Thunder now. Mitchell Rook is about to come on. I think Benjiba has been summoned as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Certainly a healthy crowd here at Paisley Park. good mix of home fans and away support as well for the Thunder. As you said, those double changes perhaps come after this play. Young brings it back inside. Suleimani hoofing it forward, looking for Hassan Jallow. Magic almost coughing this up, calling for it on the far side there, Clark. Just a little too late, perhaps the ball was played as Rossi clears. And the offside flag rises.
Well, calling forward is one way to describe it. He had his arms raised to the heavens, Daniel Clark. Please, somebody find me. He's been free on the far side a few times today. He's going to be Benjiba to come on. Appearance number 96 in NPL Victoria for him today, and he's never scored a goal. So maybe today's his lucky day, Benjiba, former South Melbourne defender. And that's going to be Daniel Clark's last involvement. Jay Romanovsky coming off as well. So Jiba will go to left wing back. And Rook into the midfield with Kyle Taylor allowed to push further forward.
Magic trying to come out of their half. Suleimani holding Habib well. Finds its way to Mukeswa, but knocked off by Edwards. Mukeswa getting in for the second bite at the cherry.
Oh, Edwards just losing his standing foot there. There's a sniper in the stands.
Mukeswa does well to come away from the pack, and Habib appealed wide, but just a little too wide as Mukeswa retrieves it for the Magic. Nicely done from the Thunder skipper, Suleimani. Yuki Uchida trying to come away. The two Japanese players come together, and it's a win there for Uchida.
The right decision as well. Just had his leg hooked, almost MMA style.
All smiles though, Kawaguchi.
Those two seem to be enjoying that battle down the right we've got in the second half. Edwards. Suleimani just knocked it into touch with a lazy leg. Kawaguchi will fire it up the line as far as he can muster. Rook in the way. Uchida helps it on. Altona is still in this despite everything that's gone against them today. Despite the man disadvantage. Kamara coughed it up. And the whistle will go. Aiden Edwards is pleading his innocence. Referee thought otherwise. Unfortunately, the whistle didn't go early enough to spare Hassan Jallow that painful collision.
That's exactly the same question Kyle Taylor was asking referee Jack Morgan. He just pointed out that his teammate is down, but like you said, the foul did blow before, so less than 10 minutes of regulation time remain, and if it's going to be any time soon, it has to be rather pressing for the Magic. Like you said, just one goal behind. They're certainly not out of this contest just yet, as comes forward now for Bilal Habib against Suleimani. Arriving forward his teammate, Kawaguchi, Kamara, Habib, Mukeswa now, Kamara. It's a good passage of play for the Magic as El Hawley is back to his centre half. Way, and unfortunately looks like this ball will peter out a little too far for Tsitsinyaris, and goal kick for the Thunder.
Still searching for a way into that Thunder penalty area. I think it will have to come off a turnover or a counter-attack because they just don't have the numbers in forward areas. Still asking the questions, and the further they force the Thunder back, the more likely they are to win it off the press. It's a delicate balancing act here. Look, it's 3v2 in the centre circle in Thunder's favour. But can Thunder get the ball to their forwards is the question, especially with these strong winds going against them in the second half. Jiba miscues off his boot. Suleimani Stabs it forward, but only as far as Kamara. Jallo looking for it. Kamara sliding in to keep possession for the Magic. Olamawewe. No way past Rook, and here come the Thunder. And this is Kyle Taylor with Jallo to his left. He's offside when he really shouldn't have been. You can see the whole way across the line. That's a coach killer.
Certainly be disappointed in that. The NPL Victoria men's leading goal scorer. I think he's at the top there with Leighton Brooks of the Lions. Certainly has been lively off the bench, Jallo. Just misreading that offside flag as the Magic look to go forward, but headed back to Jamie Young, and this perhaps is approaching time management territory for the Thunder. I'd say it's still a little bit early, Josh, but certainly one eye is on the clock.
Jamie Young collecting a kick from the turf rather than out the hands. Real groan of frustration from Adam Pinnock on the Thunder bench. He's been very vocal today. Nice exchange between Taylor and Jallo. Mehmeti. Big raking switch. It's a superb ball for Suleimani. And here goes Suleimani. Jinking past Kawaguchi. Suleimani across the box. And it was just too hot to handle for Jallo. Fired in at such velocity and at such an awkward height that even a player of his quality couldn't reel it in.
There's not much that Jallo could do there. A collective groan from the travelling Thunder supporters, but when he looks back at that, I'm sure there's nothing more that Jallo could have done. Like you said, laced with ferocity as the Thunder now trying to go on another attack as the ball forward by Mitchell Rook is intercepted. Kawaguchi for the Magic. Bilal Habib on his left wing up against an accomplished defender, and it goes all the way through harmlessly as Habib just hand in head.
It's disappointing as far as Magic are concerned. Conlon Keswa has been brought off the bench to provide a bit of physical threat in the penalty area, and Goran Lozanovsky furious that he couldn't get on the end of that. They're going to have a precious few of those sorts of opportunities, so you can understand the frustration from the Vardar head coach. Young's goal kick holds up in the wind. Sitsanaris. Hamarongan, better safe than sorry.
Mukashar forward. Cross comes into the box. Header away. Kamara strikes at a chance here for the Magic again. How will it sit? Kawaguchi comes across. Referee says rise please as Kamara has possession. So the header Rook there. Another stray hit. The Thunder perhaps looking to come away with the ball. Rook sends it forward. Jallo. Chance between two Magic defenders, and it's the defenders who have the Magic and come away from Jallo as Kamara gets onto it and wins the free kick for the Magic.
Jallo was the wrong side of the last defender there, but he was inside his own half. So that's how far Altona are having to push up in search of an equaliser. Akadanikoski. Habib. Big switch, which is picked off by Jiba. A rather cheap turnover. Jallo. Taylor for Rook. Lovely swivel away from trouble. And Mitchell Rook goes down in a heap. Saad Mukashar collects the yellow card.
Only a couple minutes remain now for the Thunder to hold on. certainly they'll won't welcome fouls like that, but they'll certainly take some set pieces to drain the clock. And Jamie Young urging his team to move forward with the man advantage, perhaps can trap the ball in their attacking half and keep possession as Amarongan to Rook. Combination play with Jallo, can't quite get the right side of Olamwewe, and Rossi sends it forward. Nice rising header from the Dutchman, but it falls to Kamara. Here is a chance for the Thunder. Again, disappointingly collected by Rossi.
Wow. The Thunder just haven't polished off those sorts of chances. Just haven't had the composure in the final third. Yes, they have the advantage, but they probably should have more than one goal to their name. The amount of times they've been in those sorts of attacking positions and haven't made the most of it, been an immense source of frustration for their coaching staff. And Yuki Uchida, who's been so bright, has also been so profligate in some ways, not having that final ball. Gomwe Kezwa presenting with his back to goal. Kawaguchi. Still Altona press for an equaliser. The 10 men still within touching distance of the Thunder. What can Sitsanaris produce? Hands it off to Habib. Rolled into the path of El Hawley. Mukashar breaks down, and 4 minutes up on the fourth official's board. Altona still have time here. Rossi's taking a throw in. The goalkeeper involved. Desperation stations for the Magic now.
Thunder looking to come out of defence here. Jiba. Further wide. Now Jallo gets onto the ball. Chance now for Taylor. Goes backwards to perhaps go forward. Jamie Young. Clearing ball there, picked off by the Magic. Lukashar. Cross to his centre half. Dejan Danikovsky. Siniaris. Forced backwards. Has possession picked off, and now the Thunder with possession. Yuki Uchida. Alon is lonesome in this right wing, but will go forward, and the referee says no foul, despite the pleas of the winger.
I think he thought it was his throw-in as well. He's quite upset by the call there. Lal Habib for the Magic. Gomwe Kezwa making a nuisance of himself in behind here. Van Amarongan has been imperious today. But Gomwe Kezwa gets the better of him just for a moment. Mitchell Rook coming back as the extra man to cover. Habib, that's another hopeful drilled ball. Ricochets out to Bakadanakoski. Lozanowski is screaming at his charges. Get it forward. Not like that.
Certainly a little disappointed with his side, Goran Lozanowski, but with that man disadvantage, they're doing all they possibly can. They've had the chances. If you're just tuning in now, a red card to Alexander Gust in the first half, capitalised on in the second half by the only goal in this game so far to Wade Decker. The Thunder with a slender lead.
Here they go. Altona through Kamara. Gomwe Kezwa couldn't get on the end of that one. High ball for Kawaguchi. His first touch is assured. Bakadanakoski caught by the breeze. That one's going to race out for a goal kick, and that's where the wind in your favour actually works against you at times.
A couple of those hit and hope kind of balls as of the last few passages for the Magic, and I'm not sure if that's the avenue to goal at the moment. Certainly the one they're trying for, and with just under a minute of extra time left. You'd like to think that the Thunder should see it home from here and keep in touch with that top 6.
Both benches are just a picture of tension right now. I don't think either coach is particularly happy with how this has gone. The Thunder think they should be away and clear. Altona will rue some of those missed opportunities, and maybe they could have snuck away with something. Still time for a late twist in the tail. Rossi pumps it forward. Mercer Mehmedi winning the header well. And Jack Morgan says that'll do. Dandenong Thunder do just enough to get over the line here. For the second year in a row, they are victorious at Paisley Park. A valiant effort from the 10 men of the Altona Magic, who battled so bravely. But the solitary goal of the game, created by Ali Suleimani, finished off by Wade Decker for his first goal of the 2025 campaign, is the difference. George, it was a gripping finish right until the last kick of the ball, but Altona didn't quite have enough to answer back.
Certainly so, Josh. Just one of those games that we mentioned it many times during the call that Thunder perhaps should have put the Magic to the sword, and even with that man advantage, you thought that the Magic were in it right until the very end, and I'm sure both coaches will see it that way, and a result in the end, an important 3 points for the Thunder as they look to build up some steam ahead of their next match, which is at home against Heidelberg, and the Magic will be on an away trip to Hume City.
It's the first game of a 3-game homestand for the Thunder. Heidelberg, South, Avondale. Pretty tough run of fixtures, but the Thunder have found a new lease of life this season and are looking less mid-table scrappers and more finals contenders. Certainly defeating Altona today goes some way towards that. We'll sign off here on the NPL Victoria live stream. I've been Josh Parrish alongside George Scafezis. We hope you've enjoyed tonight's coverage from Paisley Park. The final score, Altona Magic 0, Dandenong Thunder 1.